The Boston Celtics have constructively built a fantastic roster top to bottom, but as we've seen over the last couple of days, there are some inequalities in this team. We'll be diving in and looking at Bleacher Report as they come out with an article releasing 3 possible trade targets that the Celtics could look to expand on next season if things do not go right for this team this year. We'll be looking at and discussing more Boston Celtics news on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz, but before we dive in on all of those rumors, 72.9% of our viewers are not subscribed. So if you're part of the thousands of people that are watching our videos that have yet to hit that subscribe button, make sure to tune in down below, hit that subscribe button, as this is the place for Boston Celtics content for you. Like I mentioned, we do watch along live streams. We had one for that disappointing game on last night. It was a fantastic turnout. We'll have another one for tomorrow's matchup versus the New Orleans Pelicans. So make sure to come and join us for that. But without further ado, let's get into the topic at hand today. Make sure to grab a snack, as it's going to be a jam-packed episode as we look at Celtics potential targets ahead of the season. Now, obviously, we're pushing for this year. The Celtics, are still competing for this championship push. They want to be able to get these guys and win a championship ring. It's definitely possible with this roster. I'm still believing in our squad, even though, Twitter and other places have, kind of put this team on blast over the last couple of days. But we're going to be looking at this article here as we have some hypothetical Celtics trades to boost the pursuit of the 2025 NBA title. And this is from Zach Buckley here. Now, the first thing that he's going to say is that the Celtics should take a flyer on a guy like AJ Griffin. If we want to look and see what he says, assuming the Celtics don't sense a need for a dramatic change and barring a premature playoff exit, they'll probably be shopping the bargain bin this summer. Much like the deadline deal for Jaden Springer, a deal for AJ Griffin could be a chance to buy low on a young player with untapped potential. And if the Celtics happen to get the best out of Griffin, they suddenly have a cost-controlled 3-and-D wing added to the equation. It's worth noting, of course, that Griffin isn't getting any minutes this season, and the Hawks team headed for the play-in, so the odds of him becoming a regular contributor in Boston can't be great. Then again, injuries and personal absences have contributed to his limited floor time, so it's necessary to a lack of ability. Just last season, he carved out a rotation role as a rookie, nearing 39% of his long-range looks while showing flashes of defensive ability and some of off-dribble utility. He's an interesting young player given what it would cost to get him as a pair of second-round picks, might do the fit in, and the potential reward could easily outshock any risk. And even though I do agree with, our guy here, Zach Buckley talking about bringing in AJ Griffin, I think he could be a low budget guy for the Boston Celtics, similar to Jaden Springer. I don't know if it's necessarily the biggest move. He says it could be a 3-and-D wing, but we already really have that in Sam Hauser. Adding another one wouldn't be that bad as well, but he also mentions that AJ Green has yet to be really playing this year, and that's due to because of his personal reasons and injury reasons of not being able to play. So therefore, in my honest opinion, I don't know if AJ Green is, a guy we want to be taking a risk on. Yeah, it could be a beneficial aspect for the Boston Celtics. It could be a piece that could help us out in the long run. But in my honest opinion, I realistically don't think that a guy like AJ Griffin could come here and help contribute the Boston Celtics as well as an impact guy as the article makes it seem. Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. The next one is to chase a young shooter, which again, very, very confused on this. We already have young shooters in Sam Hauser, in Payton Pritchard, so adding another shooter doesn't really make that much sense to me, but here we're going to dive in, saying in the bargain bin, how would it take to get Jet Howard away from Orlando? Obviously, they spent the number 111 pick on him. He's faced a shooting shortage all season and never bothered to get a glance in his direction. He just appeared in 14 games for a total of 52 minutes with the Magic, spending most of his time in the G League. His NBA stats are a mess: 35% from the field, 29% from 3, 50% from the free throw line, but the sample size is microscopic. In the G League, he's been a shooting specialist, living up to the label by averaging 3.6 3-pointers on 38%. Obviously, we love to shoot the long ball, like he mentions, and obviously it could cost a little bit more than Griffin to get, but we could get him if we wanted to. Again, a very, very questionable pickup in my opinion. Like I mentioned, we have Sam Hauser, we have Payton Pritchard, so diving in and looking at a guy like Jet Howard doesn't really make that much sense. Plus, like he mentioned, the Orlando Magic just took Jet Howard with the 11th overall pick last season, and that was a pick that I thought was way too high to select a player. I really liked Grady Dick. I thought he would have been a perfect fit for this Orlando Magic culture. Unfortunately, they did not go with him. They went with Jet Howard, and like the article mentions, he's been balling out in the G League, but for the actual Orlando Magic team, he hasn't done great this year. And yeah, he's going to get some reps probably next year, but I think that's more of a building block for a team like Orlando, who's a little bit younger. They need that offensive creation. They need that shooting. Prioritize that more than the Boston Celtics, because we already have a great point guard in Payton Pritchard, who's, putting up fantastic shooting numbers over the last couple of games, shooting around 50% from the three-point range. And also, Sam Hauser's been solid for the Boston Celtics. I know some of the last couple of games he hasn't been on fire that much, but let's not look back just to 2 weeks ago where he had 30 points versus the Wizards, 23 points versus the Chicago Bulls, and had 22 points or 23 points versus the Portland Trailblazers. So it just goes to show you that Sam Hauser can really heat up for this squad and be a fantastic contributor for this Boston Celtics team, and I think he can be a bigger stepping stone than what a guy like Jet Howard could be. I'm not really sold on Jet Howard. I don't think he could be a big contributor. Again, let us know what you think down below in the comment section. And lastly, this is the one that I think could make a little bit more sense, is backing up the bigs. Obviously, I've heightened and freshened that the Boston Celtics front court is their biggest depth issue, but here we go. We're going to dive in saying that we need some interior help because obviously Kristaps Porzingis has not been able enough as a massive impact. He's been pretty solid, but his health has been a little bit of an issue. Al Horford is barely 2 months away from 38, and he can't keep defying the age curve forever, even though he's done fantastic in his games. And I think that was a big loss in last night's game, is not having Al Horford, because he would have been able to size up Clint Capella a little bit better for the Boston Celtics and helped out on those rebounds. But obviously they could absorb some more front court protection. A guy that the Celtics were rumored to be interested in at the trade deadline was Nick Richards, and that's who he brings up here, who can, be pretty solid for them and be a nice loss when they had to include Robert Williams and Jrue to get Jrue Holiday. Richards would be the hardest to get out of the players, as we discussed, because he probably isn't off limits. Not when the rebuilding Hornets need more assets and already have their building block big man in Mark Williams. It might take a package headlined by a protected first rounder, even 20-year-old rookie Jordan Walsh, but this certainly Celtics would receive at the center spot might be worth it. Now, I don't think it would take as much as Jordan Walsh. I think that they'd be willing to part off of him for a couple second-round picks here. I don't think it's going to be that much of a big haul for Nick Richards. He has been key for them as their backup center, but like this article mentioned, Mark Williams is their future, their center stone, their key center block that they're trying to build around with LaMelo Ball, with Miles Bridges, with Brandon Miller, and have some of these other young guys, like Trey Mann that they got in that deal, or even guys like Seth Curry and Grant Williams be there as great stepping stones and great locker room guys. So in my honest opinion, getting rid of a guy like Nick Richards isn't going to really harm the Hornets that much, and I don't necessarily think that they're going to be having a big asking price for him as well. I think, in my honest opinion, he's the best option for the Boston Celtics to go out and get. But, like we've mentioned, we already have Tillman. We've seen him play pretty solid on the defensive side. He could blossom into something nice for the Boston Celtics at the end of the year, and since we have his bird rights, we've already got that taken care of. Luke Kornet will also be on the squad again next year, and we also have Neemias Queta, who's a guy we could also bring back, keep developing. He's on the fringe of making the roster. I think he'll get that 15th roster spot. I want him to get that 15th roster spot, but in my honest opinion, Neemias Queta, I think, can be that, rim protector that the Celtics need, that guy who can help finish around the rim. He had a little bit of foul issue, had a little bit of issues at scoring around the basket, but those are things he's worked on, things he's kind of perfected while he's working in the G League. I think one more run when the G League this end of the year, or, riding on the Celtics bench, and one more summer, one more offseason will give him that push, give him that light to, want to compete, want to help this Boston Celtics team be a top, and I still think he'll be a better fit than Nick Richards. In my honest opinion, Nick Richards is the best option to get, but let me know what you think down below. I think all three of these guys realistically won't really help out the Boston Celtics. I think that the Boston Celtics could do better off with some of the guys that they already have. They already have guys that could shoot in Payton Pritchard and Sam Hauser that they can keep developing and keep working up. They got a guy named Queta who could be a backup big, Luke Kornet, Xavier Tillman. Those are some flyers that they've already taken on, and a guy like AJ Green might be a possibility, but 3-and-D wing, we already have Sam Hauser. Like I said, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, and without further ado, before we end the video, we got to get to comment of the day. Like I mentioned, if you want to be featured on the comment of the day, leave down your thoughts down below so you could get picked to be the special comment of the day here. Today's lucky comment of the day is Chris34CE, who says, "Bruh, you sound exactly like me, but I'm glad fans are coming to light. Tatum has cost us games all season, and I love Tatum, but man, it breaks my soul. He is the light and darkness of the team. Brown is the best player. He's earned that for 2 seasons now." So I have a little bit of arguing to do with your take here, Chris. I know that we kind of agree here that it was a little weird seeing Jayson Tatum take that last shot. I would have wished if Derrick White had gotten that last opportunity, and maybe not a jump shot from Jayson Tatum, maybe a little bit drive to the rack, maybe a little bit of a bigger contest trying to get that last bucket would have helped out with the Boston Celtics. But in my opinion, Celtics have been, living and dying by Jayson Tatum these last couple games, playing a little bit of ISO dominant ball. It's not really been working out. Brown being the second best player is for sure. I think that he's, earned that stature. I'm very high on him. But in the clutch, Jaylen Brown isn't the best controller and dribbler of the ball, and we do know that. He isn't the best ball handler. So I do believe running the offense through Derrick White in a nice little pick and roll would have been a better option for the Boston Celtics. But like I mentioned, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section on all these trades. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this type of video. Let me know what you also want to see on here on Celtics Digest with live stream stuff like that. Because like I mentioned, we'll be doing another watch along live stream on tomorrow afternoon when the Celtics go to New Orleans, take on the Pelicans. They were bullying us with Clint Capella down low the last 2 games. Now they have Zion Williamson. It should be a big test to see how the Celtics can handle this paint pressure. We got to see big games from Tillman, got to see big games from Al Horford, and I'm expecting a fantastic victory from the Boston Celtics, a little bit of a bounce back win. But like I mentioned, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check out our other links in the description to follow us on Twitter or X, and join the Discord to discuss with other Boston Celtics fans. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.